Hey, good people. I'm checking in with you today from my family's sacred place, the place we affectionately refer to as the cabin, which is situated on the coast of Lake Michigan, facing west and the most beautiful sunsets every night. This is the place to which my family has been returning and regathering and replenishing and renewing for generations now. The beach down below me is a place that my dad went to as a kid, that I went to as a kid, and that my kids have gone to. And it is a place of great joy and comfort and strengthening. And it has me mindful in some tender, special ways of the sacred place to which we all long to return and regather and find our replenishment, which is our church campus. We are all anxious and eager to return to the places where we are accustomed to being in person together, enjoying life, enjoying meals, studying and worshiping together. And this pandemic has us necessarily putting that in-person gathering on pause while we pursue all the other ways that we have to gather right now. But there's nothing like being in person together, and we all are anxious to get back to it. And so we're monitoring it regularly and checking in with you every other week about how the community spread of the virus is going, knowing that we will take our indications from that as to when it will be safe to consider gathering in small groups first, safely and smartly. The news of the virus's spread is probably already in your ears, but I think we already know that the virus is spreading and it is rising. So the movement of community spread is heading in the opposite direction of the way that we need it to go. And so therefore, our cautious measures, staying safely socially distant and wearing masks where we go, continue to be necessary and well invested toward the day for which we yearn. But we also necessarily need to continue to wait before it is safe for us to regather in the ways that we really yearn to do as a community of faith. So a couple of things are going on in the life of the congregation that are significant. One is that we are actively preparing for regathering. We are convening a regathering task force that will take up the detail-oriented work, preparing for safe, small, slow regathering. And we will work our way in phases from small groups back to the things for which we all yearn together, the large gatherings of worship, which are still a ways off. But we're going to be preparing for all of it so that we don't have to wait a day more than is necessary in order to get back together again. But while we need to remain suspended from in-person gathering, we're also noting the vibrancy of St. Luke's Online that continues to walk in the way of Jesus in the ways we have to do so together. So we've also convened a St. Luke's Online work group last week that will assess and that will also imagine ways that our online connectivity can continue to develop and grow, and we will continue to pursue the things that God is leading us to do and become, because we have needed to be a church primarily gathered online for now. We expect that that will not only sustain us for the temporary time until we can gather safely in person together, but it will also sustain us for a better future in which we will be joyfully regathered one day, but we will also be smartly connected online in meaningful ways, ways that will only enhance our sense of community and commitment together. I've been mindful in my spiritual reflections during this strange time of the waiting that was a driving feature of the experience of the people of God in the Bible. The Israelites wandered in the wilderness for 40 years while they were being prepared to enter into the land that God had promised them, the land where they would come to flourish and be protected together. That was a long time of waiting and preparation. And similarly, much later in their history, there was a long time of waiting and preparation that happened in their exile from Jerusalem, when they waited away from their comfort zones and their familiar places until they were allowed to return and rebuild and become even more faithful people of God for the preparation. Mindful of the ways in which preparation time influenced the trajectory and life of the people of Israel, just in the same way that it is surely doing for us by the work and guidance of the Spirit that is in this strange time in which we find ourselves. God is here, God is with us, God is working upon us so that we will be sustained and that we will be prepared. Not only for these times, but for the times that are to come, the flourishing times that are to come. We can lean on those stories and we can lean on the words that those faithful ancient people left for us. Thinking about words like the psalmist in Psalm 130, who says, "I wait for the Lord, my soul waits for the Lord. In God's word, I hope." He goes on to say, "My soul waits for the Lord more than the one who watches for the morning, more than the one who watches for the morning." It's a beautiful song of refrain, and it is also a beautiful expression of the yearning in our hearts that comes with waiting. Even waiting expectantly, even waiting preparedly. We wait with yearning in our hearts. And that yearning will be fulfilled. God's got us, and God is leading us. Doesn't make the journey easy, but it does make the end of the journey sure. Look forward to being on this journey with you by the guiding of the Spirit, and also in arriving in that gathered in person place, a better church for all this struggle and journey along our way. And while we wait, while we work, I'm grateful every day for the privilege of being a servant with you. Peace be with you, happy 4th, and God bless you all.